Hello. This is Sandy from Doux Designs. Popping in tonight for a little bit of Be Happy fun. Be Happy fun. Doesn't really sound like it goes with the flow very well, but we are going to be happy tonight. Hi, Donnell. So we're going to play with a couple of these products that we have. So this is called the Honey Flower Stencil. Super cool. It's double layer. When you lay it on top of each other like that, you get the flowers and the honeycomb. So this is honeycomb. You could use it by itself, or you could then layer it with the flowers, which you could also use by itself. And normally when I do stencils, I use oxide inks or some kind of inks, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to do something else. So stick around and you'll find out. I have a card base already ready. It's going to be white tonight, which is an unusual thing for me. And it opens at the top, which is also unusual for me, but I'm feeling a little unusual tonight. So that's what we got. I have, because it's a bee, I have black paper already cut to be the mat. And then a smaller white paper, and this is on the hammer mill coloring paper because this is what we're going to use the stencil on. It's storming here, so hopefully I won't lose you guys or anything, but just know that I hear the thunder going crazy. Hey, Cheryl. We're doing good. We're doing okay. We got back late last night, like, I don't know, 12:30 in the morning or something like that. So it's been a little bit, both of us worked today, so we're a little bit tired, just a little bit. But yeah, so it was crazy. So today I thought, what would be better than to do something that would make us happy and smile? So I took this digital image that we have. This is called Be Happy. This is the Be Happy. It's actually in the cute Lil Bugs set of digistamps. No, we didn't get extra sleep. No, both of us were up early this morning. Dale a little bit earlier than me, but yeah. So this is what happens when you use the white fill digital stamps. So when you layer them over top, you can't see the bugs behind. So I wanted you guys to be able to see what it looks like. So this is why all of our digital stamps include the white fill. Because if this were just PNG, you'd be able to see the lines from the other wings right through the face of the bee. So I made them white filled so you can layer them like this so you can't see what's behind the bee in front. So I wanted you to see what that would look like if you printed it out. So we are going to color these cute little bees tonight. And then we are going to create a background. So if you have time to stick around, you'll want to stick around for this because we are not going to use oxides or inks. Not oxides or stamping ink. We're going to use the Copic multi-liner and Copic markers. So if you want to see how that works, stick around so you can see. Hey, Meg. So I'm going to zoom in here real quick so you guys can see what I'm doing. For now, I haven't decided what we're doing with the wings yet on the bees. I don't know if I will do them in a light gray-ish white, or I haven't decided. So yeah, Meg, exactly. I wanted to show how it looks when you get the white fill, which is amazing. I mean, it's like a game changer for me. So that's why I made sure all the digital stamps have them. So these are my yellows for the bee and the honey. So I have YR2423, Y3835, and Y15. These are the combinations I like for the honey and the bees. And then the black I'm going to use I only have 3 for right now, but if we need more, we can pull them out. So see 9, 7, and 6. I skipped 8. So just 9, 7, and 6. And I'm going to go ahead and get started so that we can get to the background. Hopefully you guys will be able to stick around for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the YR24. Okay, I'm so glad you guys popped in tonight. YR24. I really appreciate that. I know we weren't available on Tuesday. I felt bad about that, but wasn't a whole lot I could do about that. You know, I'm starting to think now that I was just about to get ready to do this bee, and I realized I think I want to do him with a regular skin tone, and I did not pull that out, so I'm going to pull that right now as soon as I move my cookies over. So I clearly have my cookies on top of my Copic markers right now. Can't help it. Sometimes you just got to have cookies to make you happy. Let's see. I think I have these colors. I think my E13, I think I need to fix my E13. It got messed up before we left, so I need to clean it and get it all back to normal. So I can't use E13, so we have to use something else with our colors tonight for skin tone-ish. Big hugs. Yeah. Thank you, Meg. I think we're going to use E04, E000, E00, E11, and E21. I think those are the colors we're going to use. But I want to do, I like to make these bugs look like people, kind of. I don't know how to explain that without sounding silly, but let's just go ahead and do it. We'll do the skin tones first. So I'm going to do them all at the same time. So I'm going to start with the E000. Now you could do them in black, but the thing is for the bumblebees, I like the this top portion to be black, and then it's black and black, and it's just a little harder to see. I mean, you can do it, you just got to shift your colors, but I thought it would be fun if they had like little hands and feet in skin tone colors that look like cute little bees, which is what I call them. Yum, what kind of cookies? You have Keebler fudge. These are handmade cookies from one of the relatives made handmade chocolate chip cookies. Yum, yum. I brought them home with me. I brought some of them home with me because there were a bunch left over. And I love them. They're so good. So that's what I was eating while I was watching a Lifetime movie, waiting for 8 o'clock to arrive. They are good. They're really good. I have eaten way too many of these cookies, I can tell you that. Over the past few days, I've eaten way too many cookies, but they're so good, I can't help myself. So good. And like I said, I don't know if you guys were on, but I can hear it thundering outside, so hopefully we won't have any issues, but if something happens, you'll know. I'll get back, you know, if we get kicked off or something, I'll hop back on, so just come back and look for me, but I just wanted to give you the heads up just in case. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain, but I can hear the thunder. Yes, they look so yummy, don't they? And they actually made it all the way home. I didn't even eat them all in the car on the long drive. But everybody made it back safe. My kids are all home now. I got to see them, so that was really nice. that part was nice. And Dale's over there crafting in his craft room. So, you know, we got that going on. There we go. You're storming there too, Meg? I don't get it. It just feels like it's always storming. It's always rainy somewhere. I mean, it rained so bad one day while we were gone. It was horrible. I think we're going to give these little bees blue eyes when we get ready to do that part. So here is E04, and this is going to be our big cake. And this is going to be our shadow color. And Dale just came out with the big fig cake that he brought home. He really likes figs, and I really don't, so we don't have them in the house very much, but they always make him fig pies when he's down there. So he got to bring his fig pie home. He was happy. So I'm just going around the whole thing because it's almost like he has like a hood on, and so it'll shadow his face everywhere. So I'm just going to do that part, and then these ones that are real close, and then the tops of the feet where they connect to the body, we're going to make those some shadow area there as well. So we're going to do the same thing on all three bees. Yes, he is spoiled. Yep, he is. But he was over there making more stuff for the shop, so he's been
summer
busy.
Visits, Mom would can figs for me to take back.
In the summer months, he said his aunt cans figs for him to bring back so he can get his fix. I guess they have fig trees in their yard, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have fig trees in their yard, so they have plenty of figs. But we don't have that kind of stuff here.
Fig trees and kumquats.
I always call you my kumquat. What do they make with kumquats?
I don't know. You just snack on them.
You just eat them?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've had one of them before.
Shows asking,
Where's that? In Louisiana. Yep, in Louisiana. That's where we were. We were down there in Louisiana. All right, so next I'm going to go with E11, and then we'll do E21 and E00 so we can finish this off. Yeah, so at this point we're going to do the E11 up against that E04 to kind of blend that color. We're going to do a little bit of pushing it back into this part. This part's going to be black, so I'm not really worried about getting any extra color. If I go over the lines, it's not going to matter because we're going to color black over top of it, so you won't even see it. But I want to make sure that I keep some of this dark shadow for the bees. So that is what we are doing right now. That thunder is loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it is loud. So and these are the digital stamps in the shop. I did release the cute little bugs a while back, but they had different eyes, and there are a couple of things I changed about them. So they're a little bit different than the ones. So if you have a set, you'll know that they're just slightly different than what you have. If you ended up with the stamp set. So I'm doing their little noses with this E11 as well. Just in case anyone has these. So the other ones, they had more like a square-ish kind of eye, and there was a unique shape within the eyeball before, but I changed them to a more typical eye. And I took the belly button off since I felt like this will kind of look like he's in a little outfit, so I felt like it needed to come off. So I took it off. I can't believe it's Thursday already, you guys. I don't even know where my time has gone. I know. I just didn't keep up with days at all. Tomorrow is Friday, which I'm sure everyone is excited about. Do you guys watch Craft Roulette? Do any of you watch Craft Roulette? That's generally why I don't have a live on Friday, is because that's the Craft Roulette night. Wasn't sure if any of you watched that or not. It can be really fun. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out sometime. It's like at 6:30 Central Friday nights. It's about an hour, hour and a half long. And you just make a card and you can take a picture of it and upload it and be in a drawing for free prizes from whoever the sponsors are for that month. So that's kind of fun. But just getting to see everybody's take on the parameters and all that cool stuff is pretty fun. There we go. This is probably the part that'll take the longest, is doing all of the skin tones because it's such a big space. You just can't Craft Roulette. It's too noisy for you. What do you mean? How do you mean it's too noisy? Is it because there's a lot of chatter in the chatterbox? Because I don't really listen to that. I don't really listen to the chatterbox that much. Why is this acting like it can't focus and then refocusing? That's very annoying. Is that bugging you guys? Because it's bugging me. The chatterbox is there's a lot of talking. You can't keep up with the comments as they're going by. I don't usually tend to try to keep track of that, just because I already know I can't keep up, and I can't watch it and keep up at the same time. So, so I just say, forget it. Oh, we need to have some cheeks. We got to give these guys some rosy cheeks. So let's throw in some R11 real quick on the little cheeks. I'll throw those in as I get ready. I got a little bit in his eyes, so I'm going to have to go fix that with my colorless blender. I'm a little off my game tonight, I think. Just a little bit. I'm going to finish this arm off because he's behind the other bee, so we might want to go ahead and take care of that. I feel like I'm off my coloring game tonight. She is too fun for you. Mary Gun Fun's too fun for you. There's a lot of talking. That's true. Because you kind of watch the person craft. And I like listening to the talking and chattering. So I don't like reading in the box. That drives me crazy. But I like to listen. So I take the parameters and I make a card while I'm watching it so that I can submit it. And not only that, but I'm also like a member of them. Too many distractions for this ADD girl. I think I can see that being very distracting. But you can always watch and make your card later, or just go back and check out the parameters and make a card. You still can win in the drawings, which is kind of cool. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to actually be live. So that's pretty cool. But I know what you mean. It's not every kind of event is great for everybody. So you got to find the ones that work for you. I like the craft roulette. I think it's fun. It's challenging, but sometimes I think I make a card and I'm never going to use that card. You know, because you're just trying to hit the parameters. You're not really, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm not creating at the same time. Oh, yeah, Meg, I have to. I can't just sit there and watch it. I have to actually be crafty at the same time. Otherwise, it doesn't work for me. I have to be crafty. Kind of like whenever I watch your classes, I'm crafty at the same time you're crafty. So I like it. It's fun that way. And I think your class is this weekend. I think you said the 28th, didn't you? So I think I'll be there for that. I'm actually going to their Craft Roulette live event, which is called Paperganza. It's coming up in July, and I'm going to that. My problem is that my person, actually, I was supposed to be going with 2 other crafty friends, and both of them are unable to go. So now I am going by myself, which is very disappointing. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. I want to see that closer when we're offline. You want me to show it?
Sure.
You want to see what Dale's doing? He's making new dots for the shop. And these, they don't have glitter on them. In them. So these are going to be just the clear see-through. Look at that pink color. Isn't that pretty? It's beautiful. I love it. Good job, honey. Yes, Sunday. Okay, good. I'm going to mark that on my calendar so I don't forget. Because I want to come and do, I need to go buy it so I have your image so I can color with you while you're teaching us. So I need to go get it. I haven't gone, I'm off a little on my, I'm off on my game, you guys. But I've been posting a lot of, you like it? You guys like it? They like it, Dale. I need to, I'm a little behind on a bunch of my stuff, so I got to catch up on all of that. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. But I have been posting on social media, some in the group, but also on YouTube. So if you don't follow the YouTube, you may want to go check it out. There's some new speed colorings on there. And so check it out. Don't miss out. Follow the YouTube channel as well. We really want to grow that YouTube. So if you guys ever watch YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. Do the little subscribe button. Like and subscribe. Helps build the channel. We really appreciate that. It's super helpful. You love your Dragon Knight gnome. I do too. I don't usually, I don't have any gnomes. Like I don't, I have never drawn any gnomes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't have any gnomes. I mean, I have trolls and I have, you know, different things like that, and dragons, but not, I don't have any gnomes. I never jumped on the gnome wagon where everybody was drawing gnomes for a while. You'll check out the YouTube? Yeah, there were some added while I was gone because I wanted there to be at least something going on. So I set them up to post while I was gone. So there were some new ones out there. Okay, so there we go. Now we got really rosy cheeks. We needed just a little bit more rosy on those cheeks. So I added the R11 one more time. But as you can tell, these little guys, they're pretty easy to color. You don't need a lot of detail on them. They're cute enough just by themselves. So when you get this set, by the way, you'll get this bee, and you'll get a ladybug, and you'll get a butterfly. So you get all the cute little flying things. So did you guys hear that thunder? That was very loud. Very, very loud. So you'll get all the cute little ones. You're not a gnome girl? I would not have guessed that. I really thought you were a big gnome girl. How funny is that? You did great. They're really cute gnomes. So good job. Sometimes it's hard for me to draw something somebody wants if it's not something that intrigues me, but that's why you get your own shop. Because then it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. I think I want to put a little bit of purple in these eyes with the blue. So I'm going to do a little swatch right here. Maybe it's my tummy. Just ask me about you setting up your live stream. Yes, I'm going to do that. I had to work all day to catch up on my other job, like on my I don't know, what do you call it, on my real job. I had to work all day until this live, so I will be setting that up. I have to learn how to do it, so I will be setting that up. By the way, you guys, I will be live on YouTube on whatever day, Saturday, I think it is. Meg, what day is it? Saturday? I'm so bad. All right, we're going to do this B97 and then V25 and B52. Yes, Jamie really gives you a lot of freedom. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, seriously, I bet you guys heard that because that was really loud thunder. All right, so I'm just kind of drawing in these eyes. You could do it really simple with one color and just go around it, but I'm kind of drawing it in a little bit, so let's hope that I get them all right about the same size, because that would be a bummer if I didn't. Okay, I know y'all can hear that. It's just getting louder and louder. Let's hope we don't lose electricity or anything. Okay, I'm going to do all of them at the same time, like get all the eyes in there first, and then we'll start working on them one at a time, but I want to get them just in there. And then you could do this with a pencil to get until you get really used to it, but since I draw anyway, I kind of have a bit of practice making them the same size on both sides, so I'm just winging it. But if you're not real sure, use a pencil. Just remember to erase the pencil before you start coloring with Copics. Otherwise, it kind of sets that pencil in. So I'd probably use a multi-liner over top of a pencil and then erase it so that you could get that. See, you heard that one? Yeah, I don't know why it is so loud. Okay, I'm going to use my V25 next, and this is a very light purple, so maybe I'll grab V17 as well so I can put those little lines in there first like we usually do, and they'll blend together. So I like to just put a couple of little lines in the eyes just so they have a little bit of personality, I guess, if you will. allow me that, and then we'll start coloring it in. You could do these eyes as simple as you want or as detailed. I'm doing them a bit detailed because I kind of like them that way, and the eyes are really big. But when you get the digital set, you'll get the originals that I drew that had the different eyes, and then you'll get this one as well. So you'll actually get you'll get both sets. You'll get the original and you'll get the new one, the new version. So you'll get both. It says it takes 24 hours to set up on their end. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll have it done tomorrow morning. I'll do it first thing, or tonight. I might do it tonight if I can figure it out by myself. But if I can't, I will send you a message and let you know. I can do it right after the live. Okay, so I'm going around the edge where I put that B97 and just kind of softening that up. And I'm also going down here by all the way down the bottom of the eyes, the lower section of the eyes. Leaving just a little space for that last color, which is going to be B52. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get home until, I don't know if you heard me say it earlier, but we didn't get home until 12:30 in the morning. And then I went to bed and I got up and I worked all day. So, yeah. I mean, I'm retired, but I sort of went back to my old job on temporary basis to help fill in until they can get people hired, just to try to support the new business that we have with the stamps and everything, you know, because you got to get the money from somewhere. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm sorry I haven't been able to get that set up, but I will. I promise. I will be there. I haven't used YouTube for lives, so I'm not familiar with that, but I will get it done. But thank you for letting me know, because I did not know it takes that long to set it up ahead of time. I'm really glad she let me know. Okay, so that has our V25. So a little bit of our purple to go with our blue. And then we're going to bounce back to this B52, which is a soft greenish blue. So it kind of has green and blue and purple and everything in these eyes. But I think that they'll just be super cute with that variety. Because I think we'll put a few of we might put some of those flowers, and we'll use these purple and blue on the flowers as well from the stencil. So I wanted to get that color a little bit somewhere on the bee so it meshes really well. I like to keep the same colors in my images, so I think that'll be really helpful. So super, super cute. Hey, Mom. And then I think I'm going to take that G00 that does the magic trick for us when we do eyes. And that's where you just make the little horseshoe around, and it kind of pushes the ink and makes the eyes glow a little bit. I really like how that looks. So we're just going to do that a little bit. We're not going to over exaggerate, but just a little bit on each set of eyes. And then we'll start coloring their bodies. These eyes are a little easier to do because they're rounded than the original eyes I put on the other bee, ladybug, and butterfly. I wanted to make them unique, so I had made them a little bit different when I made them the first time. But there we go. There's some little eyes going on there. Now I'm probably going to put those lines back in there so you can see them, because the G00 kind of washes it out just a little bit. So I'm going to go back in with that B17 and just add with a really light touch, just add them back in a little bit, just so you'll be able to see them. We'll probably soften them up with the other B25. But for now, I want to get a few of them back in here so you can see them, and I don't think V25 would have done the trick. And I'm just going over exactly where I put them before. I can still see them, so just putting them in the same place so they stand out a little bit more. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you like them. They are really cute. I've had a lot of fun with these cute little bees. I really like bees. I'm a big fan of the bee world. Even though I'm allergic to them, I still really, really think they're adorably cute. I like them like this. I don't really like them out in nature. I mean, I like what they do for our flowers and pollination and all that good stuff. I just don't like them to land on me. There we go. So now their little eyes are done. I'm going to hold them up close, so get ready so you can really see how much we did with those eyes. So they look a little gray on camera, but they really are a little bit more of that purple and gray and blue, but they're cute. There we go. All right, time to roll in with the yellow. So this is what we were going to start with before. This is the YR24. I want the black to be the first one up here. So yellow is going to go on the second stripe because these are bumblebees. So they have to be yellow and black. So I'm going to do every other one. Like that. And then I'll probably make their little antennas, but the little balls on the top, I think they need to be yellow. So we're just going to put a little bit of this yellow in there to start with. We might as well get that rolling. And then I'm going to do them all the same. So these are just a really small area, so I can do them all at the same time. Oops, I almost missed one. I almost forgot to skip one. There we go. You have to have the bees. They're so cute. In this set, you get bees. You get the bees, you get the ladybugs, and you get the butterflies. And they all kind of look similar to this, but their wings are different, their outfits are different, and you know, but they're very close to this. But they're all in the same set. This is YR23. This is the darker part, so it's where more of the shadow is. I didn't put a little stinger on them because you wouldn't be able to see it. It would be on the back side. But I like them. You can use it for be happy. You can use it for happy birthday. Happy birthday. You can use them for anything. Smile, sunshine, crafty, hugs, whatever you want. So they're very versatile. You can do all kinds of stuff with them, and they're a digital stamp. So, but Beth, since you just jumped on, I did this. You got paid, your checkbook is already screaming at you. I know what that's like for sure. This is what happens when you layer the stamps that are white fill. See how you can't see the wings from the ones in the back? You can only see the one in the front. If this was just PNG, you'd see those wings would go right through the bee's face. So that's why I like the white fills so much. And I wanted you guys to see how that works and how good it goes together. So that's why I laid them out in threes instead of just doing one of the bees. And you can make them any size you want. So I have those bees we're coloring, and then these bees are a lot bigger. See? So you can make them whatever size you want. I like being able to size them. That's a pretty cool trick. And I just did mine in pages, but you can do it in whatever form that you use. Once you figure it out, it's easy. You can do any digitals like that. There we go. All right, and then I have quite a few colors when I'm doing bees because I want that deep dark honey look, but then I want to bring it really bright. So I use this Y35, and then we're going to go to Y15. So this Y35 starts softening up that honey color, and then the 15 will come in and be really bright. So bring you that yellow jacket color. But this one is the one I really like to do for honey. And we'll be doing that stenciling with that honey color too. So you'll get to see that a lot tonight. And I may wait on the wings till last, but yeah, digital's fun. I mean, I'm more about like, I just like to be able to grab my stamp and go, but I love the versatility of the digitals. There, so I finished the little tips of their antennas, and now we're just gonna finish out, smoothing out this part right here. Notice we did every color and saved black for last. That way, if we went over any lines or anything like that, it'll cover up with the black, so we won't have any issues. But look at how pretty that yellow looks. I love that yellow combination. It is my go-to honey combo. Sometimes I'll add, if it's a large space, I'll add the Y11 because I really like that color too. But I didn't figure we needed that on these little bees because they're just tiny bees. Okay, and then our black is going to be C9, 7, and 6. So starting with C9. I love that yellow too. It's my favorite. So I'm going to start down here and do just the bodies first. So now we're putting the darkest color around the edges. Once we start filling in this black, this bee is just going to come to life. It's going to make such a big difference. So we're going to do that on all of them. And this one we want to be careful. We don't want to put this in the skin tone or in the yellow because this is black and it's hard to fix. Black and red are very hard to fix. So gave me some practice on coloring before I started by doing all the light colors first and then giving me the time. Bee-utiful yellow. Yes, that's what you should say. Exactly. I love all the puns you can do with the words bee when you have a bee on your card. You could say be beautiful, be happy. All right, I'm going to keep going. We're going to do the top part here on both sides. Just make sure you're using the tip of your marker so you don't have any problems going outside the lines. And you'll get a really fine line. So I'm just going to do that area of the hat and then right up here where it meets that yellow, we're going to make that black. So we're going to do that on all of them. And then we'll do their headdress as well. just along the sides here with the tip of your marker. Really carefully, but you can do it. Just take your time, don't rush. Rushing is when I make mistakes. Oh, so sweet. Thank you. Here we go on this side. Again, I haven't decided what we're doing with the wings yet. We could do the glitter pen or so many options. I can't decide. All right, we only have 3 colors, so the next color we're going to do around the outside of all the top. Hi, Beth 2. Beth 1 and 2. We have our own special Beth 1 and 2, just like thing 1, thing 2. We have Beth 1, Beth 2. Leaving a little space in the center for the last color. On all of them. There we go. I've colored these bees a lot of times. You can add them to any project. I was scrapping and I had the letter B sticker on me. My son said, "You have a bee on you." I almost lost my mind. Ah, boys are so good at that, aren't they? I could see my son doing that to me too, but that's funny. All right, so we're coming up the side and then going right around the face because we want to keep those colors pretty dark. And then I'm going to do around the outside there. And we're going to go up a little bit into the antenna. Also, we put the darkest one up here, so we need to come down a little bit. And I'm just going to do the underside. So down a little bit here and then the underside. We'll finish the last in with the last color. So we're going to kind of do the same thing on this side. Up along this side, up along there, then a little bit in the antenna. And if you're nervous about the antenna, you can do it all one color. It's up to you. I like to have the shadow in there, so I do both, but yes, you can do it whatever way works for you. Until you get used to it. Oh, he thought he was funny. I bet he did. I bet he thought he was real funny. It was probably perfect. It's kind of like Dale and I have this ongoing joke where we saw a meme one time that said when the wife couldn't find her phone, she said, "Honey, would you call my phone for me?" And so he started screaming, "Phone!" So now when one of us say, "Oh, I can't find my phone," they're like, we always go, "Do you want me to call for you?" So we can yell out, "Phone!" And we joke with that. We use that joke a lot. And that's something we saw on the internet, but we thought it was funny. That's what my family says. My older sister is named Beth. Beth Coles is number 1 because C comes before Spitovsky. Is that how you say it? I'm not really sure. That's your last. If I butchered it up, I'm sorry. But I think that's. We went in alphabetical order. This is B6. I mean C6. Look, now I got B stuck on the brain. And we're finishing off that part with this one. This one goes by pretty easy. It's the last one, so we're just coloring it in, as long as we don't go outside the lines. We don't want to do that. There we go. Spitkovsky. Sky? Spitkovsky. Wow. That is a mouthful's name. I said ski. That would have been S-K-I, so I was a little off, but I tried. All right, now we're gonna get this blended in right here on the top of his head. It will be the one we have to spend a few seconds on, a few seconds longer than everything else. And this will be your call. If you really wanted it to be darker, then I would have went with 10, 8, 7 instead of the numbers that I went with. I would have gone with just a little bit darker. But that's up to you on which colors you want to do. I did go a little bit outside the lines doing the top of that one, so I'm going to try to fix it because it's just a teeny tiny little mistake. So I'll show you how I do that in just a minute when I finish the rest of these, in case I do it again. I don't think I will, but you never know. So just making sure I get that consistently saturated so it all kind of looks the same. I lost my comments. They'll come back. They should come back, hopefully. Yeah, I can read them still, so that's a good thing. But I know that we've got a little bit of a weather issue thing going on, so hoping it doesn't mess up when we get ready to do the next step, because I think you guys are really going to want to see this. I started doing this a couple of years ago with stencils, and I love it. So some people have seen me do it before, but I really love it. I think it is so worth doing. All right, so now all we have left are wings, and these wings are really white. So what I'm going to do, I think, is grab a bee-utiful and a C0. I don't want it to have a whole lot of color in it, so but I want to put a little bit of a base of something in there. So usually what I do is I start like here, and then I just kind of put a little bit in the center. You're probably not going to be able to see that a whole lot on the video because it's extremely light, but it's just putting a little bit in the center of each wing, and you can't forget the ones on this side that are hidden back there, so we got to have a little bit on those. I mean, you can't really see them, so it's not detrimental if you miss it, but I like to have a little bit of this color in here, and usually I do it a little bit darker, but tonight I think we're going to use like a glitter pen or something, so I want to go ahead and get a little bit of color in there. Not a lot, but just a little. This one is the bee-utiful, and I'm just going to put that in the center of where I put that other color, the C0. So it's just going to add just a teeny bit of color within those wings. I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see that little bit of blue residue in there, which will help when you put like a clear glittery coat over it. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. But I don't like to make the wings really gray, so I try to stick with the lightest colors. There we go. Just to get us a little bit of color in there. Just a little bit. I'm going to try to turn this light again, and hopefully you'll be able to see them a little better. There we go. That's a good view of them. I don't know if you can see that blue tint, but I can definitely see it in the for reals. So we'll still have to do white gel pen and such, but let's start our background and get moving on that. So let me zoom out a little bit, and maybe it's this mat that I had on here. I was doing some stencil videos and I needed something underneath it because you weren't able to see it that well. And I have a few more to do, so I will keep this off to the side. But maybe that'll be a little better. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can see a little better on the glass mat. So this is our regular paper, and I'm just going to take these little pieces of washi tape that I have and roll them up backwards like this. I'm going to stick it to the back of my paper so it holds my paper still. I'm just going to put 2 of them on there. I don't want to cover up any of the edges of this. So I could just use a sticky mat, or I could use this. And since this is handy, this is what we're going to do. And then I'm just going to lay it onto the table, kind of straight, hopefully sort of straight. And then what I want to do is these little guys are going to go right about here. So right about the center of this card, maybe up just a tad bit higher. So what I want to do is take this stencil that we have, and I'm going to try to center it. So I'm leaving just a little gap on this side and a little gap on this side, so it'll stay kind of evened up. And then I'm going to tape it down so it stays in place. We are not using oxides. So I'm going to grab my 0.05 multi-liner. It's the thickest one that I have. So I usually use it when I'm doing this process. But you can literally do this with any stencil. So when you do oxides, you get all the squares. I don't want all the squares. So I am just going to mark off the squares that I want to color in. Some of them will be beside each other and some of them will not. You'll be able to see a pattern coming around here in just a minute. So I don't just use my stencils for stenciling. I like to use it for lots of stuff. So I like to be able to pick and choose what I want to use out of the stencil. That way I don't have to do it all. Now, if I wanted to color it all, I would do it all. I love this stencil too, a lot. And so for over here, I want to try to make it this little triangle right here. So we're just going to do this one and this one. And as you start using your stencils, and you can use any stencil you want, just start drawing out some. You can just pick some of the shapes, not all of the shapes, and then you can make it however you want. You can make so many different looks out of your stencils by doing this. And then you get to Copic color more. So how fun is that? So I like that. I'm going to leave a little bit of the space for the flowers in case I want to throw the flowers in there. But now look, now we can color this and we will have some honeycomb on our background. And we don't have to clean our stencil. And then we'll bring the flowers in a minute and I'll show you what well, let's just go ahead and do that now. That way we can color all at the same time. So instead of doing just the flowers, what I also want to do is I'm going to set this flower right here where the corner point is in the middle of the little circle. Can you see that? And then I'm going to draw out these. So it's going to look like the honey, like dripping honey. See? So we have some, we're going to do a couple of little dripping honeys. So you just place that however you want that in there, centered in there, and kind of line it up. And then you can just draw these. These could be raindrops. They could be flowers. You could use just the circles. You can use whatever you want. So on this one up here, I'm just going to put one drop. So I'm just going to put this center drop like that. And I'm not going to put one over here. So we have 3 spots that we have those on. And then I want there to be just a couple of flowers. So I'm going to put one over here so that we can have a little bit of purpley blue on our card. So it matches our little guy's eyes. And then I think I'll put, well, we're going to need 3. So I'll put one over here, like right in the center of our hexagons, our little honeycombs. So right here, the bees will be so excited because they love the honey and they love flowers. And then the third one I'm going to do as a partial flower. So like this, like it's off the page. It'll have the center, so you'll know it's a flower. Especially when we color it the color we want to color it. So, so creative with the stencils. Yes, I have a lot of fun with stencils. And then we're going to color it with our same Copic markers, and we're going to use a lot of yellow. So I'm going to start with the darkest color, but I'm only going to use that for the center of the flowers. So YR24, blow my mind, girl, I would have never thought to use it to make dripping honey. Yeah, I love it. I love the dripping honey. So I'm going to do this just in the center of these little flowers. I'm not going to do anything special, just the centers of the flowers with this darkest color. And then we're going to start our honeycombs with the next color. So we'll really just be doing these center pieces with 4 colors. So our YR23. So I'm going to start on the side here and go along. I'm going to put all the bottom parts of the honey drops, the honey squares, all the bottom of them are going to have this darkest color. So you'll see the shadow on the bottom. So I'm kind of rounding it because I want it to look like it's filled in. Like this. And we're just going to do that on all of them. And they don't have to be perfect. Some can be thicker, some can be thinner. However you want to do it, it's up to you. It's your honeycomb. You can do it however you want. And then the rest of it will just stay white. The background will stay white. Or maybe it'll have some glitter, shimmer, or something. Might put some of that on there too. But I probably won't do all of them before I go back with the colors because I don't want them to dry too much. So I'll probably just do this top half and then we'll do the bottom half next. We'll just do them separately. But this really doesn't take very long because it's just the same colors over and over again. The comb is brimming with honey. Yes, it is. It sure is. But I'm telling you, there's not very many people that play around with their stencils and do Copic coloring with their stencil designs. But I'm telling you, sometimes you can find some amazing designs within a stencil that you didn't see there until you just start playing with it. Once you just start tracing out pieces of it and see what happens. Like you could do just a couple of rows of the flowers, or you could go across. So many things you can do. So try it out with some that you have, especially if there's one that you really, really love, like a stencil that you really love. You may end up, I had a stencil once that made, when I started tracing it all out and looking at it, I ended up with candles. And I was like, wow, That is cool. I never saw them in there until I started tracing them out. And it's just amazing. I love it. And then I get to use my Copics on paper. And it's not any different than coloring something else on paper. You still have a thick line because we used our 05 multi-liner. So it's still a thicker line. Once we get to the center parts, they'll be a little bit easier to color because you won't be going along the edge of the line. It's also a white background, so if I go out and I can't push it back in, if I go outside the lines, then I can always come back with like the white gel pen and cover it up. So pretty easy. Mind blown. I'm glad you guys like this. You really should try it with some of your stencils. And if you do, definitely post, even if it's just practice sheets, because those who didn't watch the live won't see it, you know. But to see you playing with yours, they might play with their stencils as well. But we'll be doing, we'll have more. Right now we only have 5 stencils in the shop, but Dale is already working on more. So we will have more coming. There'll be new ones with the release for the next month and the new release, and they'll kind of coordinate with that. But then there'll also be other ones. And as you could see earlier, he is making more dots, and these are ones without glitter. All the ones in the shop right now, except the clear bubbles, have glitter in them. So you get kind of a really good universal. We're going to get it so you have a lot of options in the shop. And you'll probably still see a bunch more of those aliens before it's all over with, because I love those aliens. I like to know what you guys like, because, well, you know I like frogs and sharks and Stitch and aliens. But what do you guys like? What's your favorite things? Like, what is something that you see and it doesn't matter really what it looks like, you just gotta have it? That's how I am. I love frogs. I have so many frogs. I have so many Stitch dragons. See, dragons and Stitch. Yep, I have so many Stitch at my house. And even a Stitch tattoo on my arm. And purple hair. Because purple's my favorite color. I love Disney. Can't draw any Disney stuff though, it's copyrighted. I mean, I can. Just not allowed. Elves and gnomes. There's elves coming soon. And you like gnomes. I may have to try gnomes at some point. I don't have any gnomes, but maybe we'll try them. Maybe, most of the time when I draw something, it's definitely a different take on it than what most people do. So we'll see what we can come up with. I know I have some other requests I've gotten. Some people requesting specific animals. This is our Y35. Building it inside. The centers will be lighter than the rest of the honeycomb. You can put these in, you can use these stencils in your planners too. No tattoos for your delicate skin, but you wear Stitch t-shirts. Yeah, I have a few. I have Stitch, I have a Copic marker. I have music symbols on my neck that match my daughter. And 2 of my cousins, all 4 of us, did it at the same time. A frog on my leg and a butterfly on my foot. So quite a few. I like it. It hurts, but I like it. It's that pain that, like that, oh, it feels so good pain. Because when you're done, you got that beautiful artwork on your body. But don't let anybody tell you it's not painful. It is definitely painful. You love Halloween too? Me too. Yes, on the top of my foot. A great big butterfly. And it matches my two cousins that I'm really close to. We got them at the same time. They're just different colors. My cousin chose purple before it was my turn, so mine is pink because we didn't want to do them the same color, and she got purple. So mine is pink. But yeah. And it has, we built our initials into the butterfly, all three of us, so on my foot. So it really means something. We did it all together and we put our initials in it, so really cool. See, now that wasn't too bad. Now we just have to do the bottom half as soon as we do the last color here. This is very meditative and amazing to do when you're watching TV. So if you just need like something to do just to play around, yeah. You have a butterfly on your shoulder. Yeah, I won't lie. If you want to know, the one that hurt the most was the one on my foot. The one on my foot hurt the most because it's on the top. It's on the top of my foot, so there's not a lot of excess skin or fatty tissue for hands. So it was right on bone, so it hurt a lot. In fact, one of my little antennas is crooked because I jumped. But it's okay. It makes them unique. So I'm just saturating the center part of this honeycomb, this honey. You can see how much brighter that color is, so it really shows through. No, not much skin there. Yeah, no. So that's why I like this really bright color in the center. And I'm just kind of working the edges so you can't see any lines. And then it fills it in and looks really good. I like these colors together. These are great. You're using your stencils like this. I've used my stencils like this in a planner before, where you can make your own designs and then color them in. The Sassy Club has a planner you can color in. So I have that. I have that planner. I have a couple of them actually. They also have a journal book that you can color in too, and that book's pretty cool too. It's hard to make those because the paper's super expensive, so definitely check out theirs because I won't be venturing into that. I'll just be buying theirs. There we go. 3 more, and then we got to do the bottom part, and we got to do the drips. The drips will be pretty easy. They won't have all the colors in them, so they're pretty quick. There's one. And you already know what colors work for what you're drawing out, so. There we go. Perfect. Now we just have to do the last ones. So let's go ahead and get those going. Just following that same pattern we did on the top portion. Just careful around the edges. And then filling it in. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's a honeycomb. They're not all going to be exactly the same. Some may have a little more dark color. Some may have a little more lighter color. It's just whatever you want. You love this? Yay! I hope you'll try it. It's awesome. I love it too. I know I don't see people do this. Like, this was something I came up with, just trying to come up with new ideas for you guys, like a couple of years ago when I was doing a video. I was like, let's just try to color it. And I was so happy with how it came out. So I do this, but you don't see a lot of like YouTube videos and stuff that do this. I don't know why. I think people just, you know, the oxides are so beautiful and the inks are so pretty that people just use those, but so much more you can do. I like thinking outside of the box, and you guys know I love my Copics, so there it is. That is what I like to do. I used to have a lotus flower and stencil that I made into like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of cruise theme, boat theme or something out of a lotus flower. It's crazy what you can come up with. There we go. And it's not too difficult to do. And maybe we should go ahead and get some in our drips. So I want the bottom of the drips to be dark. So this one will be like on the side will be the bottom. And this one will be the actual bottom. So we'll do the same thing on this one, and this one, and this one. And then the rest will be flowers. And then this is our Y38. I think the oxides are quicker, so easier. That is why you don't see many people doing this amazing work. Yeah, I think so too. And you can make these, I bet you can make these now that I'm looking at them, like quilt, like patch quilt kind of thing. You could, I bet you could do that too. I don't do a lot of quilting, but that's what it makes me think of. But I think you could do it if you needed a quilting background. My recommendation is take all your stencils and just play around with them and then color in the ones that you really like how they turned out. And then you'll already have them for backgrounds when you're doing something else. Just, I mean, they're great for a trip if you're going on a trip, but you want to do something, but you don't want to take a whole lot of supplies. This is a great idea for that as well, because you can just make masterpieces out of all kinds of stuff. And they're your own masterpiece, because not everybody's going to do it exactly the same. Like, you might do this technique, but you might not trace the same honeycombs that I did, so yours will look different than mine. Plus, you can pick different colors. You can make it look kind of like diamonds. Like, if you did a whole bunch of these shapes, you could do them in any color. I think these are worth doing. I mean, it's not any different than me coloring an entire Copic background. It kind of does the same thing. And honestly, if I go outside the line, it's not really a big deal because the honey's dripping everywhere anyway. So no biggie. That one's going to have a little bit less of this color. Some will have more, some will have less. The more you do, the faster you go. And you guys, I noticed I do flip my marker all the time when I'm coloring. I was watching a video that I was doing speeding up to make a speed coloring, and I was like, you see my name, then you don't see. They see my name, then you don't see me. I was like, oh my gosh, I flip that marker all the time. I don't know why I do that. I just do it. Oh, I got outside the lines a little bit. But that's okay. I don't think it's going to be the focal point. I also have a sentiment I made out of a different stencil that we have. I don't know if you guys saw that video I posted on how to oxide that double layer word stencil. I cut all those out and I have those to use for this card. So we don't have to find any other sentiment. We can use our sentiment stencil. There we go. Now we just have to work on our little drips. And I'm really just going to go up a little bit on the areas just a tad bit higher on each one. There we go. I never saw that until you brought it up. So now I see you flip it all of the time. Yep. Your grandpa was a beekeeper? Oh, that's awesome. I think beekeeping is really cool. I've been to places where they had them. I think it's really neat. I think beekeeping is cool. Like I said, I'd have to be all clothed up for that for sure, since I'm kind of allergic to them. I don't have an EpiPen or anything, but I do have trouble breathing a little bit, hyperventilating and stuff. When they sting me. I think I've only been stung once. At first they thought it was a spider, but it wasn't. It was a bee. You need my word stencils. They're amazing. You will love it. You will love it. I love it. I actually have them in purple and pink, so we'll just see. Probably purple will match better with this, but I have them all. I cut them all out. There's all the purple one, pink ones, and then these are all the purple ones I have left. Some of them I used already, but there's purple. So pink and purple. And they're the oxides. They're super fast with the oxides, but you could also trace them out. You could Copic color them too if you really wanted to. You can make your own words using different letters if you wanted. I think we only have one color left. We're getting there. A little meditative. Probably could have made a few less, so you guys didn't have to sit here watching me do the same thing over and over again. But that's okay. We have time to talk while we're doing it. So we're doing good. You stepped on a bee as a child? Oh, bet that hurt. Oh, after the third hive died, you gave up? Oh, that's sad. I would have too. Evidently, it's harder to do than you think. I tried to have frogs. It's relaxing to watch me color this. Oh, good. I tried to have frogs once. You're supposed to put them in the water, like keep them as aquatic frogs, and then they were kind of tadpole-ish, and they were supposed to turn into like regular frogs, but they never grew their legs. So I was like, wow, I did something wrong. But they were fun and cute, and they lasted a long time, even though they never really grew any legs. Oh, a bee flu going around. Yeah, that's a bummer. I am sorry to hear that. All right, filling them in. We're almost done. Wasn't too bad. Now, if I did like a whole 12 by 12 sheet of paper, I'd be like worn out. But a small piece like this where you can do as many as you want is pretty awesome. Some of them I didn't leave a big spot, so. I like it though. It's fun. It's very meditative. I love that part about it. But then again, I always find coloring meditative. I don't know if you guys have heard me say, but when I first learned to color, I would color every single day, even if it was just 10 or 15 minutes, every day before I went to bed. So I wanted my skills to get up to really good. So I colored every single day for a couple of years. I mean, occasionally I'd miss if the kids had a school activity or whatever, but most of the time I would still come home and even just color one tiny thing for about 10 minutes or so. Sometimes I tell my husband, I can't stop, I'm in the middle. You loved watching the bees go in and out of the hive? Yeah, I think it's neat. Like that little bee movie kind of gives you that whole idea, the bee movie, of what all they have to do. Go out and get all this stuff and come back and take care of the hive, and yeah, it's a lot of, they do a lot of work. And coloring this doesn't really matter like how you color it. Like when we do skin and stuff, like you want to, or hair, you want to keep it all going in the same direction. But for this honeycomb, I kind of wanted to keep it like circular, so it was pretty easy. There wasn't a whole lot of specifics on that. So now my little drips are a little bit lighter than the rest of it, which I kind of wanted it to be because they're just small little drips. All right, now I'm going to go around, and anywhere I have where I colored outside of the lines, I'm going to push it back in. So there's a small spot right here. I'm just going to push that back in. I may have to do it more than once, but probably not on this one. I'll go back in this one. Just some small areas. Since I'm using the Copic paper, it'll push it back in and we'll all be good. Nobody will know the difference except you guys who watch me do it. But I tend to do this with all my projects, just going back and looking to see if there's anywhere I need to hide any little spots that went outside the lines. Push them right back in, then everybody thinks you're a perfect colorist and you don't ever go outside the lines, which is not true, but yes, it was a good movie. Coloring fills your bucket. It does me too. It does me too, for sure. All right, so the color that we wanted to go with, oh look, we're not going to see our flower. This one. We might have to put another one up there. Let's do that real quick. Since our bees will be in front of all the flowers, I definitely want one more flower on there. So I'm going to put one up here. Just one more. Because I want 3 on the card. So this one's going to be a little off the page again. There we go. That one will be covered, but we're going to color it anyway. I'm going to grab my YR27 so I can do the center of the flower piece right here. So I can catch it up to the other ones. You love the zero marker? I do too. It is so great. Okay, so I want a lot of it to show purple, but definitely have some blue in there. So I think what we're gonna do is just start off with the center part of these petals and just put a little bit of this blue in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want some color in there. It's a little easier to do if you can flip your paper around, but since I have it taped down, I figured I'd just leave it there till I was ready to move it. So we're gonna move our arm around the card instead of our paper around. But if it's easier for you, I would just take the tape off the back of the paper. It's a little easier that way, but I don't mind. Sometimes when you're doing a live, you got to do what works best for people that are watching and not for what you're doing. I call it color therapy. The Bee Movie is my favorite. For Show and Tell at School, I had crackers and honeycomb. Aw, that's awesome. I love you guys' stories. I love when you tell me stories. All right, we're gonna skip the V17 for now. If we need it, we'll come back and use it, but we're gonna put V25 next. Let's see how, I think it's gonna blend just fine. Yep. So we're just gonna blend out a little bit further and leave the tips for the final blue color. So we're gonna have blue, purple, blue. Just like the eyes, so it'll match the eyes. Now you guys know what I'm gonna do when I color the blue, the last blue part. I bet you do, because you watch me all the time, so you would know. Right now we're pulling the dark blue out with the purple. So that they mixed well together. One more right here. There we go. So as I was saying earlier, if there's anybody who wants to go to the craft roulette with me, I know there's one extra ticket, so just let me know. Oh, that's the wrong B. We need the B52. Yep, light blue in. Yep, now we're gonna go, instead of extending out this way, we're gonna come in from the top into the purple. Because we want to see that blue and the purple. We don't want to pull the purple. We don't want to extend out further with the purple included. We want to see those little blue tips. These ones take a little bit longer because they're tiny spaces, but look how pretty that is. So pretty. I like it. Now you can't get these multicolored flowers done if you're oxiding with them. You just get one color. But with these, you can mix those colors up. And this honeycomb would be really good for those Winnie the Pooh stamps I have from Sassy Club. Go. Almost done. One more, and then we get to put our card together and we'll be all done except for our wings. We got to put glitter on our wings, but I'm gonna see if I have some of that Wink of Stella, and I want to use that on the wings if I have it. But that little teeny tiny bit of blue just kind of makes the whole thing pop. Like we just needed that little bit of blue in there with the purple. Let's see if we have, let's see if I have any Wink of Stella. I'm not sure if I do, so let me check my stash over here. Oh, I have a brand new one, unopened. Oh, I have two of them. Two brand new ones unopened. Are they the same? They look like the same. They both look, they're both clear. Okay, so we'll open one since I don't already have one. So in case you have any of these, Pooh loves honey. Yes, Pooh does. So if you ever had any of these and you don't know how to use them, or you don't know, like the top pulls off, but you have to take this piece out when you first get them. Otherwise, this is the secure. Yeah, both of them are clear. So inside here, this part isn't popped open yet because it was stopped by that green thing. So you have to take the green thing off and then press it together like this until it touches the base right there so that you can open up the pen. So make sure you do that when you get yours. And then when you're squeezing it, I always practice on regular paper first. So you squeeze, shake and squeeze to get the juices flowing. I'll put the lid on and do it. Shake it, 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 shake it. Yours leaked? Yeah, it can happen. If you squeeze too hard on here and try to get it to come out too fast, it will definitely leak. So you have to be a little patient with it. And you can kind of see it. I can kind of see it coming out. So I know it's starting. There we go. So it's starting to come up, be all glittery. But I like this shimmer because you can't really see anything until you until it dries and you shift it. Like, look at how much glittery that is. It's shimmery, really shimmery. So we are going to put that on our wings. And I'm going to keep this paper here handy because I squeezed it a lot and I want to make sure I don't have too much. Now we should be able to see a little bit of that blue shining through those wings that we put on it earlier. And then we're just going to put a little bit on that little corner right there, right here. This will make them really shiny. I think better than the other glitter that I have. I like this one because it's like a silver clear, like really clear kind of glitter. Like some of them have gold in them, and so they're not technically not like a sheer, and it's thick. That's what I really like about it. So I'll show you how it's coming along on the wings. See if you can see it. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. There's a whole lot of light. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That's very, very sparkly. And I like the very sparkly. These are his wings behind. And you want to be careful because you don't want to overflow it. So I'm kind of looking at the top tip of it because it's brand new. It might like overflow. So I'm just kind of watching it as I'm adding the color. You also want to look at it from an angle because if you think you're not putting the ink on, you probably are. Or the glitter, you probably are. You don't want to oversaturate your paper because it can wrinkle a little bit. Look, I flipped the glitter pen too. There we go. All right, so now we have our sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. And now we can start putting our card together. I may end up putting a little sparkle on the background too if we need it. but I'm not sure. I was like, where's my glue? Maybe I did. I'll try them again. Yeah, try them again. I do like it for the wings. I don't use very much glittery stuff, but I do. It's very shimmery, the Wink of Stella. Like normally I use a gel pen with some glitter in it. But again, it gives me a goldish tone to it. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So let me see if I can center this on here without messing it up. A little bit off there. There we go. We can move it a little bit. All right, and then we need our little pop. A little pop press here. Kind of get that glue all spread out on there. And then we're going to use this one next. So we're going to glue the back of that. You could also do flowers around this and then put like rhinestones in the centers. I mean, there's just so much versatility with all of this. All right, here we go. Now we're going to center this one on top. Pretty good. Slide that over just a tad. Then I'm going to flip it over and rub it again. Make sure we're putting that going on the right direction. And we are. All right, now we got to put our bees on there, and I kind of feel like we should pop them up. So I'm going to grab my pop-up stuff. You know, it's all on my desk right around the corner from where I am. Right here, I don't even have to get up. I just have to remember what drawer it's in. I have some scraps, so we can use those to put on our bees. I'm going to flip them over right here. Too thick, but we have these. These will work. I think I have, let me try this one. Oh yeah, that'll work. Let's use that one. So I just need to trim it down a little bit, and we're going to use our tape scissors so we don't get sticky on all the other scissors. We want to make sure you can't see it anywhere, so you'll be able to see it up there. I'm going to have to put a little bit of a cut in here because I don't want to see it. Right there. Gonna have to do it here too. So right here where my fingernail is. That should take care of, yep, perfect. Now we'll just stick this on here. Perfect. Now, if we need to, we can use some of these excess pieces, like this, that I cut off. I mean, we got to use every bit of this. I don't like wasting any foam stuff. Yay, pop up, yay! Yeah, I think you should try the Wink of Stella again, because I think you'll be really happy if you can get it to work. And it's losing a little bit of glitter on my desk, but that's okay. Let me move this over a little bit. I really want that. Maybe I want that up here. And it kind of getting on my desk, but it comes off really easily, so you don't really have any problems with that. Here's some pre-cut ones. I'll use these for my extra pieces. And then I think when I flip it over, like it won't be on the top parts, but I'm okay with that on this particular card. All right, let's see. Where do we want to put this? I think we want to put it about right there. And then our sentiment, I'm thinking we should use a purple one, but we'll see what it looks like. I want to use, I picked the word celebrate. Here it is. But I kind of, it's not really right. It's too purpley, I think. I wonder if the pink one would look better. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that either. So maybe, see what other sentiments I have sitting around here. Hang on one second, because I don't think I have my stencil out right here, so I can't do it again. Maybe I do. Oh, I do. It's right here. I have it. I'm good. We'll just stencil it up again in the right colors, because this is not going to work. This is too wrong color. Oh, thanks. Oh, I can't grab a hold of it. And I have some extra paper here, so we can just do it real quick. I always keep all the extra little pieces of paper that I have handy so I can make sentiments easily. And I want to use celebrate, so it's this one right here. And I want it to be, I think we're just going to use Copics. I mean, we're already here. We might as well just do them. So I'm going to actually color them in while this is on there. So we're just going to put this tape, same tape we used for other stuff. We're going to stick it right here. I'm going to stick this one right here. And that'll help hold it still. We'll put some magnets on here. And then I am just going to use the chisel end of the marker, which is this end right here. And we're going to use the same colors that we used before. So I'm just going to go along the edge to make sure we get it colored in. I mean, why not? I don't feel like pulling out all the other oxides. So we are winging it. I'm going to put the blue in there, but yellow would have been good too. Yellow would have been great. Let me just use this end. I can do it a lot faster that way. And basically, I just want a little bit of this at the bottom, and then we're going to pick up the purple again. And we're just going to do it the same as the flowers. So I'm going to turn this so I can do it a little bit easier. So we're going to mix in the purple. It'll have to take a little bit of work, but we'll get there. And then we'll put the blue at the top. So just give me a sec. I'll get us there. And I think this will just be better. Okay, I'm going to go over the line one more time. Make sure we get that all blended in, because you know how I feel about that. One more time on this side, and we'll be all done with the purple. And then we're going to use the B52, which is the same color we used for the eyes and the flowers. And we're going to blend that together and then come up here with the blue. And I think this will match a lot better. And we're going to go over it with a black pen to write the words on top. So that should work just fine. And we can do that with a Sharpie or with a Copic or whatever we want to. But this way, it'll match everything. There we go. Okay, it's blending nicely now. One more shot right there. Okay. I kind of like this. This is cool. All right, here we go. We're going to take that off. So we got to put our other one on top. And let me see, do I want to use my Copic? Maybe I'll just use my multi-liner. There we go. Look at how pretty that is. It's going to go so well. All right, and Celebrate, we want to go over top. You can make any color you want with these stencils. I love it. Let's put that there and that there. And then we're going to use our 0.5 again. And I'm just going to go in there and thicken this up. There we go. And it's just going to be one word, so it should be fairly easy. We can touch up if we need to once we take it off, but I think we're going to be okay. And like I said, you can use a Sharpie or multi-liner, whatever you want to use. Can you guys see me? Yep. I would have never thought to use markers for stencils. I'm learning so much. Yay! Yeah, you can use them for anything. You just have to try it. Don't be afraid. Just give it a try. I mean, shoot, I try markers on everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now look, you have so many new tools in your craft room that you already had. Isn't that amazing? I just extended your craft supplies that quickly. Because now it'll look different either way you use it. Yeah, cool. Two more letters. We're almost there. I mean, how many people remember doing this kind of stuff with the stencil when you were little? I used to get stencils and do this, outline the whole stencils. I remember I once had a Tupperware set of stencils. I love those dang Tupperware stencils. There we go. Now, here we go. Reveal, reveal. Ta-da! Perfect. That was super great. Super great, super great. Now I'm going to cut it out, and I'm pretty fast at this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get squiggly around the area. It doesn't have to be perfectly. As long as you have some wiggle up and down in the area that it would normally go up and down, you should be fine. No one's going to notice whether it's perfect or not. Honestly, I do it all the time. No one's ever said to me, oh, that's cut out kind of crooked. It still feels a little wet because so much Copic marker on there. So I just want to be careful that that nothing gets on my fingers and then I put it on my project. So I want to be careful with that. I would recommend letting it dry before you cut it out, but since we're live, we're just gonna roll with it. And then right around the edge like that, and we are finished. So not perfect cut, but who's gonna notice? It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, here we go. We're gonna put this one on there like this. And I kind of wanted to see those drips. I don't want those drips to go away, so I'm trying to decide. I think I might put these here. Maybe we'll put the bees up just a tad bit higher. I think that'll be perfect. Tupperware stencils, they were amazing. You could color with them and do all kinds of stuff and then throw them in the dishwasher and wash them up. They were amazing. They lasted forever. But at one point, I had somebody broke in my storage unit and stole all my stuff, and those went away with it. So that was unfortunate. And I've never been able to find them since. But they had an amazing set. It was like a set of like 12 different designs. So you could make dinosaurs and letters and words and shapes, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right, here we go. And you know we're going to put some bling on here because we can't do something without bling. We got to have bling. And warning, when you use this Wink of Stella, you always have glitter on your hands. When you get done, see? That's an upfront warning. You will always have glitter on your hands. All right, here we go. We gotta do our little white gel pen on our little eyes. So they stand out a little bit more. And we don't need any in the wings because they're glittery. And let me see what bling I have on my desk in my amazing handy case here. Ooh, the clear would be great. I don't have any of the clear. I think I only have 2 blue ones. I don't have 3. Okay, let's see what we have in this tray. We have 3 trays, so we're good to go. Oh, look, we have yellow. Let's see what the yellow looks like. Maybe the yellow will be perfect. I kind of like the yellow, but smaller. Like really smaller. Like this. Perfect. Excellent. We can put it in the center here. And it fits perfectly in the center here. One right here. So we have 3. Then we need some more. Because, you know, we all need plenty of these. So we'll put 3 up here. And we'll have 9 on here. So we'll put 3 here, and then we'll put 3 at the bottom. I happen to have yellow. What a bonus. I think we'll put 1 up there. That gives us 9. Oh, that one's too big. I want the smaller one. There we go. Hey, you stuck to my tweezers. I need new tweezers. Come on, finicky little guy. Dale always laughs at me when I try to put gems on my card because I always do that. You got to go to sleep. Okay, good night. And take care of your dog. That's right. Yep. I mean, this is it. We're done. But I'd love to see what you guys create, so make sure that you share when you play with your stencils.
Cheryl's gonna sleep too.
Yeah, I figured everybody would be. I mean, I just need to stick the gems on, and then we're done. So it's pretty easy. Last few steps, but since we upload to YouTube, we got to have the whole thing on there. There we go. 3 more. We'll move those aside. They're sticking. Do, do, do. I mean, I think my mom's still here. Unless she said goodnight already, too. And this one. And this one. And then all we have to do is put them on there. And we're good to go. 1, 2.
Beth said I'm getting everything, Sandy.
She's getting everything. Yay. I mean, it's going to be so fun. You're going to love all this stuff. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I mean, I only want stuff in the shop I want to use so I have it when I need to rebuy it. Trying to bring in all the cool stuff. This one goes right here. And the bottom one goes right here. And I think I have glued them all. And I always use my little pop press to push them down. Just make sure they stay there. My soda press. Just to make sure they stay where I want them to stay. Sometimes the slippery little suckers get away from me, but most of the time it just presses them down. And then there we go. We are all finished. The only thing we have to remember to do is always stamp your work. If you don't have this bling tray, you might want it. Always remember to stamp the back of your work. I need to get a new stamp that says Doux Designs. I don't have one. Oh, this one just says my name, but that's okay. This was a super fun card. Thanks for hanging out. I know it took a while, but look at how adorable that is. Isn't that just super fun? Look at how cute they are. Now remember, when you get the digital set, look at the glitter shimmer. Ooh, all the shine and all the sparkle. You get bees, ladybugs, and butterflies in this with these eyes, and then the ones with the bigger eyes. And so you get all of that in digital. And you'll get them with white fill, so you can layer them up just like this. You can make as many bees as you want. Yay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. It was super fun, and I needed that happy moment. So thank you for sticking with me through that. It was really fun, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you're watching on YouTube or on replay, please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. And I will see you guys on Tuesday next week. But if you are watching on YouTube or want to watch on YouTube, I will be having a YouTube live on Saturday in the morning. So I'm going to post that tonight so you'll know exactly when it is. So if you want to watch that, then pop on over to YouTube. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining me. Good night.